Capcom will be closing its online store in the US soon. So this news just came out, and they're giving like almost no warning, heads up. So the news comes via post on Twitter. So I'm going to read the post. An important update from the Capcom store team. The Capcom store is closing, and the last day to place an order is May 1st. Supplies are limited,
Rough
so
looking Ryu.
I know he looks like he's on D-ball and HGH and all that stuff. All right. So Capcom store is closing. Last day to place an order is 5/1, so May 1st, 2021. Supplies are limited, so place your order soon. We want to give a huge thank you to everyone who has supported the store. So yeah, look,
Wait. What's the online store? What is on there? I've never even been there. That's probably why they're closing it. Like, what is on there? Is it like paraphernalia?
yeah, so they sell games and books and artwork and merchandise. Obviously, the cupboards are bare right now. There's barely anything on it, but that's
Well,
because
go to brands. Go to Resident Evil real quick. Like, what do they have here on sale for Resident Evil? This is one of their larger brands, and it's just games.
yeah, because
So, do they have anything that's merchandise? Go to merchandise real quick.
no, there's nothing.
Available to purchase.
Yeah, there's almost nothing.
Zero products in the category.
Now here's the thing. Let's go to the Japanese Capcom store, okay?
Well, that's not fair.
No, but it is fair because this is what we're talking about.
Well, I'm
They're
just saying in
they're
general, the
closing off.
Japanese store for like anything is usually better in general.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to
Prove a point.
prove a
I get it.
point. Yeah. So, all right.
How's
Now,
your Japanese?
very very poor, but let's see if we can translate it here.
8,000.
Okay. So
Monster
let's,
Hunter Stories. Look at that acrylic stand. That looks nice.
dude.
Hey, what's that Okami thing?
There's
Is that an
so
Okami?
many
Oh, it's
nice
an
things
Okami
on this
figure.
store that we're not allowed to get.
Well, it's not that we're not allowed to get it, it's just difficult to access. So if we have like, some kind of in Japan, then maybe. Are
Yeah,
those Nendoroids? Yeah.
yeah. So the whole
Or
point I want to
Nendoroids?
make is I'm not saying that the U.S. store has to be exactly like the Japanese store. I'm just saying that I over the years I've always hoped that they would give,
Merch.
yeah, they would, well, they would give American fans
Access.
access, more of a chance to get these items that we don't have access to unless we pay a major fee on like Play Asia or eBay. Yeah. Um, but what I'm seeing now with the closing of the Capcom store is it's actually getting like worse. Like they're actually restricting access more now. And
Well,
so,
wait. They're not restricting access. They're not giving access. There's nothing.
well, no, what I'm saying is just having a US store open, they have the possibility to grant access, right? But when they completely close the store, that's regression. Because now they're closing off that avenue completely. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's all I'm saying is that I had hoped that we would be given more access over the years since gaming is blowing up right now, right? And there's a lot of collectors and people like you and me now who are really trying to like make our stake in the gaming community.
Yes.
But I'm seeing more of a regression when I see stuff like this. That's all I'm trying to point out. Is it's like they're just like, well, we didn't get the access, or we didn't get the business we wanted, so we're just going to shut it down. Well, no, it's not that. I've been to their store a few times.
Yes.
It's not that they're not getting the business because people don't want it. It's that all the good stuff is on the Japanese store. All the stuff we want is on the Japanese store, and we simply don't have access to it. And
Well,
this
I was
goes.
gonna go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I was just gonna bring up like the Game Gear Mini or something. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like,
What about it?
well, I had to order it from a service from Japan, and I had to pay extra. You know?
But
Um,
they didn't make an American version or an English version.
yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I would have liked one. You know?
I mean, they take into account, like these products. I think Japan in general is just a better system
Hmm.
in terms of selling niche products
Yeah.
per capita, I guess, versus the United States
Yeah.
or anywhere else in the world. I don't know. That's an assumption. It's a
Yeah.
wild one,
Yeah. We don't
but
know.
but but I don't I
Yeah.
don't I don't think it's too far off the mark because there's just so many things that Japan exclusively makes
Hmm.
that doesn't go outside of their country.
Yeah.
That being said, a lot of the items that we just saw that were really cool, they are available via other avenues. They're not just centralized to the Capcom store.
Yeah.
On the Japanese store, on the U.S. store, definitely I see them not even being able to compete with something like Amazon or Best Buy, especially if they keep their prices at MSRP the entire time, or just like at the original regular value, not the changing MSRP. So like take something like Square Enix for example that we just saw. Square
Hmm.
Enix, their website said that hey, Final Fantasy VII remake new on PlayStation 4 is $59.99. Deal with it. You can go to Amazon or Best Buy and get it for much cheaper,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
eBay, like you said.
But
So
I will
like
say this:
yeah,
Square Enix has a sale every year.
oh they have some great sales.
Yeah, exactly. And I buy a lot of stuff from their stores, so problem solved.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: Square Enix also has, I think, and you can correct me if I'm
Hmm.
wrong, or anyone in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong. They have a better ecosystem in terms of diversifying what they create because they have their own Square Enix branded figures and
Yeah.
other merchandise, music, books, stuff like that. Capcom doesn't. I don't think like the things that we just saw, those Nendoroid figures, they could be, you can get them from CD Japan or Hobby Link Japan,
Hmm.
or Play Asia.
Yeah.
There's multiple avenues of accessing those items, and that Okami,
Yeah.
it said like Puyo something or something. I think it looks like another brand.
Yeah.
So Capcom is just advertising things that are being made by third parties,
Yes. Yeah.
while Square Enix is a first party that has their own merchandising division.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a huge difference.
Yeah. That is a difference. But I just wish we had more access. You know what I mean? I just
No,
do.
I completely agree with you. I completely
Yeah.
agree with you, but it just seems like they just haven't been able to compete at all
Yeah. There.
in
There's
turn.
there, like
What?
like here's an example. When I look at the Resident Evil Village collector's editions in Japan
Oh
versus
yeah.
the collector editions we have, it's like not even a comparison. Like,
Well, they have that Devil May Cry like $7,000 edition that had like Dante's jacket or something, and you're like, what?
I know, man. Like, I just wish we had access to stuff like that because, yeah. But I will say this.
Square Enix had a Final Fantasy 15 collector's edition that sold an Audi TT, I think, like a Final Fantasy 15 themed Audi,
Yeah.
and you're like, what?
Yeah. There
Or
was a.
was it a TT? Or I think it was some Audi. I can't. I'm blanking.
Remember when Capcom gave away a. Was it a Scion FRS Street Fighter themed car at one of the fighting game tournaments a few years
No,
ago?
what?
Yeah. I
That
think it
sounds
was
amazing.
Infiltration. He won it playing Street Fighter Cross Tekken, I think. Yeah.
So quick story. I was at San Diego, not San Diego, sorry, New York Comic Con a couple of years back, and Capcom was talking about the next game after Resident Evil 7.
Hmm.
They were talking about Monster Hunter World
Yeah.
coming out, and I was at the convention like stage, and they were doing a giveaway at
Hmm.
the very end, and they were like asking all these questions, and they were giving all these things away, like games, like straight up new games. Resident Evil 7 Collector's Edition was being given away for the Xbox 360 and or Xbox One, sorry.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god, I want this." It was
Yeah.
already rare by the time that they were doing this giveaway, and
Yeah.
all you had to do was answer a question. And their question was in Resident Evil 7, who are the enemies that you fight that replace the zombies? What are their names? And I was like, I had just played Resident Evil 7 like months ago,
Yeah.
like just a few months ago,
Yeah.
and I completely blanked. I was so upset.
Yeah. You know
But
what?
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Everyone in the audience, there was like a minute or two before someone was like, I got the answer, and it was molded. That's
The
I
molded,
will
yes.
forever remember
The molded. It's such a
because of that
uninspired name.
situation.
It's such a uninspired name for an
Yeah, the
enemy.
molded. I hate you.
Yeah. But that game was fucking amazing.
But it was like such a delay because initially when they were giving out all these other prizes, there's like, oh yeah, like all these hands went up, and
Yeah.
then this came up, and that's how no one remembered. Everyone was like, what?
Dude, it would have been funny if they made the molded into different shapes. Like they had them like like those Jello bowls. Like they had them shaped like big Jello circles, and they had them shaped like gingerbread cookies and like the molded.
And they were just like,
Yeah. um,
that would take me out of the game so hard.
I know. Yeah.
And
So
Resident Evil 7's fantastic.
it
I love
is.
that game,
You gotta
but
play it.
Jesus,
You
the
gotta play
molded.
it. But they're gonna
Damn.
come out with a pack, a 2-pack. So if you haven't gotten Resident Evil 7 yet, you can get it with Village, I think, in a 2-pack.
Rock on. That's gonna be great.
So yeah, um, I just someone figure out how they like someone who works at these companies in Japan like figure out a way that you can be competitive in the American market so we can have access to it because like we're freaking missing out, man. We're missing out on a
Yeah.
lot of cool stuff.
No, you're right. You're
All
right.
right,
I agree.